Apple shares pulling back just a little bit in pre-market trading after debuting the latest generation of its smartphone, the iPhone 14. The new phone includes a longer battery life, better cameras, a new display. But the bigger news also, perhaps for investors, is what wasn't included here, and that's a price hike. The iPhone 14 is going to start at $799, which is the same price point the iPhone 13 sold at last year. And this is a surprise to some analysts who thought there would be a price hike from Apple. They've been talking about it for quite some time. And a surprise as well, given the inflation and economic backdrop. We know that, even with its immense size, Apple is not immune to price increases that we have seen. So looking through the analyst commentary here, it's interesting that we have not seen that. There is some talk that Tim Cook is going and the company is going to try and steer folks into higher price models. They're going to upsell people. That's how they're going to.
They love doing it.
Instead of doing price increases, maybe that's part of the strategy here.
Yeah, the mood on the street, just in terms of sentiment after the Apple event, given all the notes we have just digested here at Yahoo Finance, is that stock may be due for a breather. To your point, because that price hike was not included in this, but. Let's step back here. You had Apple, I think, really show some very strong innovations here. A new $800 watch that takes direct aim at the GPS dominance, longtime GPS dominance by Garmin. To me, that is a win. And to your point, that is now trading people up from the cheaper priced Apple Watch to something more expensive. And I think these phones, Julie, I would say they are quite innovative, maybe a little more innovative than a lot of folks are on the street or giving the company credit for. Bottom line, you're still going to see a massive upgrade cycle over the next 12 to 18 months as people trade up to 5G and they want these phones. A lot of folks skip that last generation. This might be the generation they jump on in.
Something that I also don't think, I believe was announced, that was something that was talked about potentially, is some kind of hardware subscription model. That's something that some analysts had floated for Apple at some point, that you would pay a monthly or an annual fee and then you would be able to get regular upgrades. That doesn't seem to have happened, but that's something we'll be looking out for as well. Something else when we talk about Apple is the ecosystem around Apple that we always watch on these events. So once again, we should be watching that both to the good and the bad. In other words, a Garmin that you talked about that would be directly.
Look, I'm thinking about giving them my Whoop strap, just based on this.
No, you're not.
Yes, because of this watch, just the functionalities, this new rugged watch. I like to train, I like to work out.
But I thought you love your Whoop.
I do, but this Apple Watch, a little pricey, and I'm not buying my new car because of higher interest rates, like I just told you. Maybe I'll go out and buy this watch and try to beat the hell out of it in the gym.
That is very interesting. Something else I noticed from KeyBank Capital Markets that they talked about was the incremental 4G, 5G bands in the new iPhones. Quote, moderately positive for radio frequency chip makers. So we're talking about Broadcom, we're talking about Qorvo, we're talking about Skyworks. Again, that Apple ecosystem of chips that go into these kinds of phones that maybe could get a lift off of this kind of announcement.
Yeah, it could be a strong few months for those companies and couple quarters.